Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Eljay Johnsen Show. The show airs every single weekend, every Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, unless specified otherwise over on Twitter at the Eljay Johnsen, where you can find updates, guest announcements, and anything else that might be there on Twitter. And if you have any questions over the week, make sure you head on over to my email, ljjohnson@gmail.com. Remember, that's JOHNSEN. Alright, so we flubbed it just a little bit, and that normally happens whenever I notice goofs. So if there's a goof, then I will usually goof up on the intro. So let me just go ahead and fix that goof. In the meantime, let me know how everything sounds. It should be all right. And goof has been fixed. Okay, excellent. So before we begin, I just want to make an announcement. And the announcement is this is the last episode that will be taking place on Saturday. It's the last one that will air on Saturdays, which is unfortunate, true. However, there's an explanation for this. I've started a new job, and it's not exactly the most friendly to this time frame. So, that being the case, we're moving the show over to Sunday. So this will be the last one on Saturday. Sunday, same general time frame. So it's not really going to be in the early morning. It's going to be in the early to mid-afternoon, just like it's been for the last year and a half, 2 years. So, more on that later. We'll get that all squared away. Just want to let everyone know. Okay, so I am quite excited for my next guest. He is a large-scale MOCist, and I know him most for his Overwatch MOCs, D.Va, Balderich, and a myriad of others that we will be talking about today. I have seen him several times at Brick Fair, Virginia, where he's displayed his MOCs. So he's quite a prolific MOCist and just a cool dude. It is DanielBrickSon. How's it going?
Oh, it is going good.
Excellent. Good. And everyone, let me know how it sounds. Hopefully this is coming through clearly. But yeah, man, I'm glad to have you on. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
And no, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I have to. You made Balderich.
Yeah. No, we were all like rushing out of Virginia, and you were like, I need to schedule a podcast." And I was like, "Okay."
I remember that. Yeah, no, gosh, dang, I was in a hurry. Ugh. But yeah, no, so I'm finally glad we were able to make this work out. I have an important question to ask you. It's one that I've kind of been asking my guests as of late. How's the weather?
Oh,
Is it good? Is it bad? How
yeah,
is
it's
it?
been pretty good. Today's actually very sunny outside. This past week has been like rain on and off. Typical Chicago getting into fall weather.
Ugh. Gosh.
Oh.
Chicago.
But
No,
today,
I'm kidding. That's fantastic, though. I like fall weather. Fall weather is generally preferable than the oppressive, miserable summer, but, that's just me. Do you prefer winters, or are you more of a spring person? Or summer, which would disappoint me.
for the dead of winter, no.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Now you're
um,
talking.
no, I don't know. I'm like all kinds of weird. Like each season kind of has its perks. I guess I'm more of a person myself, so cold temperatures are nice, but at the same time, like enjoying a nice outside is sometimes nice. But if there's a cool breeze, it makes it even better.
Okay, yeah. No, I get you there. I can.
Yeah, so usually like fall or near the colder times, it's preferable.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I'm always really excited when September rolls around. Because even though it's still warm during the day or hot during the day, because it's obviously still summer, it cools down dramatically at night. And it makes it very comfortable. It makes it easier to actually, get to sleep. So
Yes.
that's always really nice. Huh, okay. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of things. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into Lego, and how you got to doing what you do now.
Cool. All right. So I am Daniel. I go by DanielBrickSon on Flickr and Instagram. Um, I let's see. I've been in Lego for at least most of my life. I think the first like on film recording of me interacting with Lego was when I was 5 years old it was Christmas, and I got like green bucket of Duplo blocks, and like for the rest of the video, you just hear me in the background talking to everyone, like, check out my Legos. Um, and then I guess it was sort of a dark phase, but it's kind of just growing up
Mm-hmm.
at maybe middle school. And then for, oh, it was Christmas again. I got from the Bionicle Anika, I got new Paru. And that was technically my first Lego set, like official, like system kind of based, and not system, but like
I was about to say,
actual
wait a
like
sec.
small, like grown up kid kind of blocks pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my first set was,
Let me see.
and
Paru and Nika. Go ahead and get a picture of that up.
the one with like the spiky mask helmet and um I made so many like mocks with him, just but they're all just like very very little mishmash hodgepodge kind of builds, but I got my play value out of him. So yeah, that was like the starting process, and then it was like more Bionicle, and then a bit of Technic, and then it was like welcome to System. Then
Mm-hmm.
my collection just started growing from there. So like, I'm pretty sure maybe my system is about half. My Bionicle is maybe half the amount of system I have, which
Mm-hmm.
but it's quite a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
have quite a large amount of a Lego collection going on. And that's just like over the years, getting older, buying and collecting and getting gifts and all that. But as getting into the Lego community, got like my first system set, which was, I believe it's called Sonic Boom. It was a Lego creator set, and it was a huge jet plane. It was a 3-in-1, and it could turn into a boat,
Mm-hmm.
a dual propeller plane, and then the jet. And that was the first like official system set that I got, and I had 3 hours, maybe more. Maybe it was like a whole day. But
Mm-hmm.
like I went through each build. Like I built one, played with it for like a little bit, and then took it apart and built the next one. And then directly after that, I was like, okay, now it's time to mock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I learned. I think it was just natural. Like I don't want to follow the instructions. I want to make my own kind of things. So I guess I kind of just threw myself into that, and then discovered that it was an actual thing that happens. So
Mm-hmm.
a little ahead of the curve there.
Fair, fair.
Into the community. Let's see. Bionicle mostly. Going on to like Bionicle.com to play the games and stuff. Um, I mean, everybody has that somewhere in their background history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I discovered somehow like lugs, what those were, and then I discovered Flickr somehow. Like that whole like beginning process is kind of a mess in my head. I don't really know where exactly it started, but I definitely started Flickr,
Mm-hmm.
posted little builds here and there, and then let's see, year of college, I went and to Shilug, which is the Chicago Lego user group.
Mm-hmm.
I went for maybe 2 shows or exhibits. And then I left college for that semester, and I was like, I can't afford college.
Oh gosh.
So there was like, yeah, that's a whole other mess. Like not being in Chicago, I was like, well, I should probably not try and, I mean, like I'm not there, so I can't really be on the ready to go to these shows. So I disappeared for maybe like a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I started working, had money to pay for travel. I was like, okay, now I can get back into this and actually get down to Chicago to shows and stuff. So then I showed back. I showed up. They were like, wait, I think I recognize you. Like, weren't you here like a couple years ago? I was like, yeah. And I'm like, your building style is so different, because back then I had just like very simple Lego system builds, and they were not too great. I did not have like with the best kind of talent. But
Mm-hmm.
practice makes perfect.
Oh yeah.
When I
No.
showed up again, I just had a lineup of like Bionicle builds, and they're like, "What is this?" I think it was like right after the Makuta contest, so I had my giant like Makuta dragon character that I made just sprawled out on the table, and they're like, "This thing is huge. How did you even?" I was like, "Me, welcome to the Bionicle side." Um, because most of them were all system builders, so I was kind of like not the maybe not the first one, but definitely one of the for the really good like actual large scale Bionicle like models and stuff, not just tiny little things or NPU on system mocks kind of stuff. Like I was
Mhm,
actually like legit full on Bionicle builds.
mhm.
So yeah, and then there from there I think it's been like 4 years. Um, and then at my first Brick World badge that said Bionalug on it, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I looked that up once. I should join that. So literally right after the convention, got onto BZ Power, this, and currently I think I'm still a member. I don't know with the whole what happens there. I might have to renew my subscription, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm definitely a member of Shylug, of Bionalug, and also recently into Gamerlug, which is mostly an online based community, but we do meet up at some shows, and basically that's just video game models. And obviously, me being Overwatch like
Mhm,
inspired, I guess, I have quite a handful of models to place on their table, so they appreciate it.
mhm.
Um, and I think that's it, pretty wise. Yeah, and then obviously first sets new Paru, and then whatever that Sonic Boom creator set was.
Mhm. Goodness. All right, so that's a really varied introduction to the community
Yeah.
because, like, I would have expected, because you're my Bionologue, I would have expected that you had joined the online community kind of similar to me through BZ Power
Yeah.
and then sprung out from there. But no, it's completely the other way around, which I find to be fascinating.
Yeah. No, it's I also think about it too, and it's very weird that you have a system builder to then secretly have Bionicle like but in
Mhm.
their background, and then they just turn out like, oh hey, I'm a hybrid builder. I build in both of these, and then
Yeah.
sometimes mash them together.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to touch on that. I will ask, between the two building styles, or I guess three building styles. So you have system, you have construction, and then you have the mixture of them. Which one do you find to be the easiest to work in, and then conversely, the most challenging to work with?
Oof. Um, is a hard question. They both have their challenges, but I think once you get going, pretty easy to build. But I will say I think system harder one,
Mm-hmm.
probably because I don't know, like I think was it the previous year's Brick Fair, Simon Liu was talking with a couple of his comrades around the Bionicle section. He said a comment that I'm taking as a compliment, and definitely not criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that Bionicle builders have like a different mentality of looking at pieces than system builders do, um, which I totally agree on. It's like pieces designated for or designed for, and just seeing it as that's like usable in something else. Like a head doesn't have to be a head, a foot doesn't have to be a foot. Um,
Hmm.
Uncle tends to be a bit more easier in that area because like you can just literally like I want these two pieces to come together. I will make it happen with a bunch of technic hodgepodge inside, and nobody needs to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But system because you have to kind of follow what the bricks like want to do. I mean, there is some liberties you get, but I feel like Bionicle is just a lot more easier to use than system at some times, at some points.
Mm-hmm. It's a very
But
interesting perspective that I've kind of heard before, but not exactly. That construction builders see things more kind of almost as the shape of the part and not necessarily its utilization as you would like a brick. Like, how can I utilize a brick? It's more, how can I use this piece to shape something? Which
I
is
know
kind
for
of,
sure.
it's definitely an interesting perspective. But no, that's fair. And I certainly, I find myself agreeing that construction mocking is a little bit easier, though that might just be because of my lack of familiarity with working with system. So
Yeah. No, and I do have some system friends who like try to get into Bionicle, and they're just like, how do you even what? It's like
yeah,
you just do this and this and this, and they're like, how do you think of these things? And then sometimes like you look at their system builds and like, how do you think of these things? Like we can both bounce off of each other and learn. So
yeah.
it's definitely a fun thing to be in both realms and like getting tips and tricks from both areas and being able to like incorporate them and use them for your own.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That definitely, that only helps. That's never a detriment by any means.
Mhm.
So now let's go ahead and focus a little more finally on some of your large works. Now I remember, oh gosh, how did I end up finding out about you? I think you showed up for like a brick feed, I want to say, and you were talking about some of your, it was either an episode of the show or brick feed, and you were talking about some of your creations. And you were, whoopsie daisy, apologies everyone for that obnoxious computer sound. I thought I had fixed that issue a while back. Okay, regardless. Um, you were talking about some of your creations, specifically your D.Va mock, which I just realized I don't have a picture of, which seems like a little bit of an oversight. Regardless, while I go hunting for that, I remember seeing that and being awfully impressed by the scale of it. And now, up on screen is your Balderich from Overwatch, one of the Crusaders. Um, and this is not an uncommon scale for you to be working in. So, kind of describe your building process when you're working on something as large, intricate, and detailed as something like Balderich.
Yeah. Um, so I think I do remember what you're talking about. I might have like implied that I was going to Brick Fair and that I was bringing Construction Diva. So it might have been what. But
Mm-hmm.
then you guys obviously saw it at Brick Fair, and then it was on a Brick Feed episode, I believe. After. So that's probably where that showed up. But I think my tendencies to build in a large scale are probably mostly because I am a Bionicle builder. Um, uh, Probably not. I wouldn't say Toa scale because I don't really. I guess they're kind of Toa scale, although I've never actually like legit built a Toa. Um, I've never actually went and like dedicated to building like just a standard base Toa.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been like, how can I completely complicate this more than it needs to be and make it fancier?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely used to that more like construction, I guess, scale, like a construction figure kind of scale. Um, so that's definitely where things sort of head off. There are times when I will build smaller, or I will build massive. As like today, September, because it is the month of September. I just built literally my very first Matoran build. I've never built Matoran before, and I was like, you know what? I need to make a little pilot for this ship. And I just posted that today. I finished my September build in 4 days. And it is
Goodness.
a Bionicle heavy ship.
Yeah, actually, I think I do have a photo of this. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. But let me see.
It
That
was
should.
an idea. I was like, why hasn't anyone built a Bionicle ship yet? Like they're all system builds with very nice part usages of Bionicle parts, but why isn't there like a solely Bionicle like built ship? So I dedicated myself to that. Um, Action scale is definitely something I lean more towards. I guess because I'm more familiar with it. Being a Bionicle builder, it's just easier to build humanoid. But it's more easier to get an idea and like perspective of proportions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously with the Crusaders, like they're men or women inside of a large mech that's even like basically adds a couple feet to their height. So the Balderich mock is like 2 or 3 inches taller than your standard Toa build,
Mm-hmm.
um, because you need to get that size across that this is way larger than a regular construction human kind of build. And then D.Va, she's like actually like really small, so she's like the base model that I use for my Overwatch characters, because she is basically the smallest character. So it's like, all right, you need to be this height compared to D.Va. You need to be this height compared to D.Va. And then her mech obviously is proportionate to her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say it's maybe to scale. It might be just a little bit small,
Um,
but either way, it's still a massive mech.
yeah, no, I get exactly what you're saying. I don't know if it's, gosh darn it, Streamlabs, do not be making those noises. I'm bringing a picture up right now from your Flickr, and I don't know if it's to scale or not. I'm not super well versed with the scale of Overwatch characters. All I know is that Reinhardt is the tallest,
Yeah,
and that's not exactly a surprise. He's absolutely massive.
yeah,
But
yeah. Reinhardt in suit is the tallest.
mhm,
But the D.Va's mech like is just than Reinhardt.
mhm,
Um, but that's just the mech. Like that doesn't really count.
mhm. Yeah,
um,
yeah,
yeah. I don't think I've actually stood them next to each other yet. I might have to do that.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, that was about to be my next question. If you've kind of done a size comparison, I would assume that Balderich is going
yeah.
to end up being a little smaller.
Well, he's probably like right about there because I had D.Va out. Um, Obviously because I use her for scaling references. Um, so it should be proportionate, hopefully.
Hmm. Yeah.
But no, that's definitely a good idea. I should make an updated post of like all the current Overwatch characters I have made.
Hmm.
Um, I believe currently it's 4
Well,
junkyard, other than the junkyard variants, because those aren't technically official.
yeah, and I wanted to kind of look at those briefly because, of course, they are. Very quickly, everyone, this is the D.Va mock, and Daniel, you were right. Once you said it, it kind of clicked because I have a picture on my computer that is of the D.Va in person, and it's got the signatures at the bottom. It has the D.Va and it has your cards. So you're right. That is where I first saw it, and exactly where I remember you from, which is a really cool experience. Um,
Yeah, so Diva's probably like your standard Anika build height,
mm-hmm.
than the
Okay.
mech.
And that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of scaling it. You know what? Okay, that's it. I'm gonna do this GX split. You have kaping for the last freaking. Okay, I'm not gonna do jack squat because apparently. Oh wait, no, system sounds. That's right. Bite me, system sounds. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Wait, what am I doing? Gosh, freaking dang it. Regardless, I did want to talk very briefly about the Junker characters. Now, these were built for a contest that is actually going on oh heavens, I want to say
Go
it's Lego
ideas.
Ideas. Yeah, okay, Lego
Yeah.
Ideas. It's an Overwatch
Ended
contest.
already.
Oh, it ended, really?
Yeah, it ended. The judging phase has also ended. It should be results will come out in the 18th.
Oh, really?
We'll see what happens. Sad.
Really? Yeah. It's really unfortunate because between these two, I like the Winston a lot more as kind of an adaptation, but that's probably because he's very recognizable. So that's fair. Very briefly, I just want to ask everyone if you can still hear everything. Um, just is everything still working? If not, no, sound is dead. Got it. All right. Let me know if that's working. I tried a creative solution. It did not work. So, anyway, all right. But yeah, no, that's really unfortunate that that only Brigitte got in. Even though Brigitte is still really, really clever. Um, Goodness, just checking the chat real quick. Hang
It
on,
says
everyone.
I'm dead.
Yeah, you're not dead, right? You're still living.
No, no,
Okay.
I'm still alive.
Okay, just need to make sure. So we'll just give that kind of a moment to update itself. So how's I'd ask how the weather is, but we've kind of already talked about that. Uh, say something real quick.
Something,
Something.
something
All right, I'm not. There we go.
strange
All right,
in
it's
the
updated
neighborhood.
itself. Yeah. So
Call.
okay, fantastic. So in any case, now you've actually entered some other contests, if I'm not mistaken. Have you?
Just a few. Um, yeah, maybe like one other one on ideas. And then also a few on BZ Power.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Biosector was the one where I won the Bionicle art book.
Oh, you have an art book.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. What number do you have?
Um, I believe it's 45. It's like right there out of reach and I can't grab it.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
But it's somewhere in the 40s numbers.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic. I did not know that you had one. It's kind of almost like
I
a
mean,
game. It's like find out who has the art book.
yeah. Well, it's what I had all of TTV sign at Brick Fair.
Mm. I
A few people
totally
saw what it actually was.
I totally forgot about that. I made kind of like a joking threat when I got mine on Twitter. I said, "All right, 1 million retweets, and then I'm just gonna sign this." But no, it's actually kind of cool that now there's just an art book out there that just has a bunch of really cool signatures from people. That's
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. No, the front cover or the I guess the front pages I'm dedicating to solely Lego set designers
Mm-hmm.
and like of that caliber. So like I have Stuart Harris from the Lego House.
Mm-hmm.
He signed the book because he was at Brickworld and I was like, this is like
Oh,
the one time chance. Sign this.
no kidding! I did not know he was at Brick World.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's really cool. Now, I actually
Uh,
think that's a really good transition from going from your creations to something else we should talk about, which is bringing your creations to display at LEGO conventions like Brick Fair, Virginia. So, go ahead and talk a little bit about bringing them, obviously these large MOCs, to some of the largest conventions in North America.
yeah. So Brickworld Chicago is really easy because I can just load it up in the back of a car and take as many boxes as I want,
Yeah.
because I'm like right there.
Hmm.
But then trying to go out to Brick Fair, um, this year I was planning on going to BrickCon, but that tossed out the window a bit. That would have been even more like difficult to get to than Brick Fair.
Hmm.
So I um is going to be very confusing to most people, but I decided to take a Greyhound
What
all the way to Virginia from Chicago. It's about a 20 to 22 hour bus ride.
what possessed you?
um, so I did it mostly because like flight travel would just be way too complicated trying to take tote full of Lego. Like you're gonna show up at customs and be like, so what's in the tote?
Hmm.
Oh, you want to see? Let me pull them out.
Hmm.
um, I think my biggest concern was just the fact that like I didn't want it to get lost. Um, Knowing that like sometimes flight travel they don't really take care of your luggage all too much. They just like toss it in there sometimes. Not saying all of them do it, but just as like a personal like I want to know where my luggage is at all times. Um, being on a Greyhound, you literally put it under the bus and you're right there with it the entire trip. And also, they don't charge you, and it could be however big you want it to be. So I can bring my biggest tote, fill it jam packed with Lego, and toss it under the bus and be completely fine.
Goodness.
Yeah, the downside would be the extensive road trip. But I don't mind. It's
Hmm.
just a day on the bus. I sleep for most of it. It's fine.
Oh, gosh, that just sounds so.
Long.
Yeah, so tedious, arduous. It just
Yeah.
goodness. But
Next year, maybe I'll fly, or
mhm.
do another Greyhound. I might just ship my mocks out there, like in a tote, and just stick it in a crate and have it shipped out there, and then just fly in. That
Mhm.
might be a lot easier to do, especially because next year I plan on bringing a couple. You were saying how my models are pretty big. Next year they're getting kind of bigger. I mean, just saw the my September build. That's like 43 inches in length.
Oh my
Currently, my
goodness.
longest model. It beats the Berserk Fury by maybe inches.
Oh
I'd have to
gosh.
compare. But I do have a couple very large models. I told Ven of one of them, specifically because it is Venom inspired. So look forward for that one.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. I'm immensely curious now. Oh, that's fantastic.
but yeah, no, my models they're definitely not gonna get smaller. They might get smaller every now and then, but they're gonna keep getting bigger and bigger.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's probably gonna be maybe one or two totes shipped
Oh
under a
goodness.
Greyhound next year, or shipped like directly there, and then
Gosh.
hopefully, yeah. The whole idea about going to Virginia is like Virginia is Bionicle, so take all the Bionicle you can.
Hmm.
Um, but after my first year experiencing it, I was like, maybe I can cut back on the Bionicle that I bring because there is quite a lot here.
Yeah, no.
Finding space to put my stuff was like, okay, I need to request another table.
Yeah, no, it's easily, I mean, it goes without saying, even though it's kind of cool to say anyway. Brickford, Virginia is the largest gathering of Bionicle fans pretty much
Yes.
in the world, just generally. It's just you're not going to find as large of a gathering. And I think there was something I noticed on your Flickr pertaining to Bionicle fans and a Bionicle, I guess, contest voting something at Brickworld. If you could elaborate.
Oh, yes. So Brickworld doesn't have a Bionicle or construction category. Even though me and a couple guys show up every year with Bionicle stuff, like we never have a category to put it in, so it's just there to display.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we've always been like we should consult with the people with the head of Brickworld to see if we can at least get a Bionicle category, like even if it's just a regular standard Bionicle, because Brick Fair has like two Bionicle categories, and it's probably gonna get like a third somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
But we do not have a category. Last year, we got a new director of Brickworld. So we're like, all right, now's our chance. There's a new guy. We can push it on him to give us our category. So we also had a couple more Bionicle builders show up. The year prior, BZ Power came out and they had their own Bionicle lug table area, so that was like super cool to see. So we had a very big presence, and I was like, all right, maybe now they'll give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So this past year, one of our members, Abby Lilybridge, who goes by Inspirations to Creations on Flickr, her parents were dedicated to the craft and printed out some petitions and had them on clipboards, and were having people sign them. So I had to step in and be like, all right, we do not want to um, like a war kind of, like we don't want to get in trouble for forcing people to sign this. We'll just have it on the table. If people ask what it is, they can ask. Like, you do not push this on the people.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the end of like voting time, like there was like a full page was filled out and half of the other page was filled out. It's like, all right, looks like we didn't really need to push them. Like if we had pushed, we definitely would have had like at least 5 pages full.
Yeah.
So then on the clipboard, the head of Brickworld like signed off. He's like, fine, whatever, you can get your your construction category. So next year we are officially having our construction category. It is just one, and it is just general.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it will be the first time we have that category, and I can tell you now, all of the Bionicle builders who will be at Brickworld, we are battling it out for the very first construction category win of Brickworld.
Oh
So,
no, gosh.
so
See,
it is going to be crazy.
yeah, the people that are really winning out of this scenario are people like me who can't mock to save their lives, but really like to see super awesome cool mocks. So I'm gonna be able to see all of this and be like, heck yeah! I'm rooting for all of you evenly, because that way I'm gonna see some awesome creations. But that is
Yeah, for sure.
funny. Gosh, I had no idea that they didn't have a category.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. And then as a thank you, I am setting aside because I am Shylug's layout coordinator for Brickworld. I am setting aside a couple tables and dedicating that area to all of the Bionicle people who will be at Chicago, and we're working on a collab. I will not say anything further, but there will be a Bionicle collab at Brickworld next year, and we will just like have that area filled with all of our Bionicle stuff. So like, here, thank you, and have a giant Bionicle collab layout to be amazed by,
Goodness, I'm looking
and
forward to that.
make judging a little bit difficult, but who cares?
That sounds fantastic though, because I know you've been a part of several other collaborations.
Mhm.
Specifically, I think a Rahi collaboration that happened. I want to say a few months back, something like that. And so you made some really impressive creations. I think you made a Kanohi dragon and a Tatarak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes. The Touchrock was for the collab, and then I just decided why not just do the dragon as well.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
um, yeah,
Okay, that's
I
cool.
have been I have been part of a few collabs here and there. I think a couple are actually coming out this month, so look forward to those.
Oh, sweet. See, I don't even
Yeah,
know when these things happen. I'm not a part of them, obviously.
they're all secret.
Goodness.
um, yeah. One of them don't know if I can elaborate on it. But never mind.
Okay, no, that's fine. Better err on the side of caution.
Better to stay away from that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, fair enough. That's awesome. Okay. In that case, would you like to get into the question portion of things? Because I feel like we got a lot of people really wanting to ask some questions. We've already had a few. Um,
Yeah,
so
sure.
definitely want to give them their due time. So,
Yes, yes, of course.
okay, awesome. In that case, I'm opening up questions. Everyone in the live chat. We do have one email question from Sir Lojon, who asks the question that he's been asking. Starting off with, if you could switch the run times of any two LEGO themes, so have G2 Bionicle Generation 2 run as long as Hero Factory and vice versa, what would they be?
Um, hmm. I feel like so the two themes I would vouch for, or my favorite themes, would be Bionicle and Ninjago. I think they both probably like G1 Bionicle is probably as long as Ninjago has been going on for.
It's
So
getting
swapping them
close.
out wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, no, it's getting very close. Ninjago isn't quite there. In 2021, it will have reached a 10-year run.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. What theme would I like to have extended further? Pretty good. Even though there's a lot of like, is it it definitely introduced a very interesting the CCBS building system. Like it definitely introduced a very good amount of very usable pieces,
Hmm.
and colors too.
Hmm. So you would switch Hero Factory with which theme?
If Hero Factory were to get, I don't know, because I feel like towards the end of Hero Factory, they kind of were just smashing pieces together. It almost seemed, um, but it was definitely interesting. So if Hero Factory were to get like the lifespan of G1 Bionicle, I would definitely have liked to have seen that.
Okay, all right. So 10-year run. All right, fair enough. Um, his other question was if you could have any two Lego themes crossover, what would they be?
Mm. Ninjago and Bionicle.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair enough answer. Yeah,
Give
yeah.
me my construction ninjas.
Ah, but don't you know those already exist? Ho ho ho. No, okay. uh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's see, a serious like crossover. Um, Joy Monster Hunters. Monsters had gotten, I guess, the CCBS treatment. That would have been pretty cool.
Oh goodness, Monster Hunters and what theme?
Uh, Hero Factory.
Oh, okay.
Well, CCBS in general, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of get behind that.
I
Okay.
guess Chima kind of dipped in that a little with the creatures, but
Mm-hmm.
a monster based CCBS builds would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Brown a bit earlier too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down for that. Okay. In that case, let's get to the YouTube questions. 823 Studios asks, "Do you go to Brickworld Indie?"
I do not, but it might happen. I'd have to check when it. But one of my closest friends goes to like all of the Brick World um sub locations. So it might happen because India's not that far off.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe one at some point
Okay. Excellent.
potentially.
Fair. Sakota asks, "Daniel, who are your favorite Overwatch characters?"
Ah, that is a good question. So surprise, surprise, I'm actually not a gamer.
This is actually a surprise because I think you told me at Break Fair you don't actually ever play Overwatch.
I have never played Overwatch.
Goodness gracious! It shocks me because all the models are just so impressive and accurate and well built, but you just haven't played the game.
Oh. I'm like I'm with concept art. So that was one of the reasons why I got into Overwatch was because all of like the concept designs and the new skins and stuff. And it was like, okay, I think I could get behind this. This is cool.
Mhm.
um, but just like video game design in general, like they have so many concepts that they either use or throw out or just have like maybe come back to every now and then. So getting like art books from like say Overwatch or Horizon Zero Dawn, just going through and seeing all the concepts and stuff like that's really what gets me going. um but yeah, I've like gaming wise Mario Kart or maybe Pokemon on like DS, but I'm really not like currently not a epic gamer.
Mhm.
um but if I had to pick from Overwatch, D.Va is number one always. um I might have a slight obsession over D.Va. She's just really cool. um It would be number one, and then I think you probably have to say Sombra would be a close number two.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
like
Okay.
just the color tone. I feel like in her base, obviously in her base form, like it's just really cool,
Mhm.
and just the idea of her being like art like hacked into the system is kind of cool.
Fair. Okay. All right. That's
um,
that's a
but no,
surprising
they
answer.
they all get equal love from me.
Yeah,
character that
because
comes
you
out will also get equal love.
yeah, because you equally don't play any of them. No, I'm kidding.
That
Oh
is true.
gosh, that
And then
that's just
Hammond
funny.
would probably be a close third. He's just, I mean, obviously, like, just put a hamster in a ball, and what else can you do?
Yeah, no, I get you. Okay. All right. Well, now that everyone has been shocked, move on to the next question, which is Niels A. Anderson, who asks, "What's a good starting point for a newish slash inexperienced MOCist?"
Yeah. So I get this. Surprisingly, I actually get this question quite a bit. Um, it's because the way that I carry myself, I don't see myself as someone who's like super amazing. Like I'm just a general builder. Like I'm just like you guys. Like I'm not amazing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like even when I get to that point, it'll be like I still have room for improvement. Um, so definitely the easiest one to say would be practice makes perfect. Just keep building, just keep going at it. But starting off wise, a even though I don't follow this, sort your collection. Collection is
Really?
sorted. The other half is it needs to be sorted. Um, Sorting your collection, finding a piece of inspiration to go off of to then dedicate your time to. Like I'm looking at these models right now, from Anthem, the online game. Um, Coming out, it was like this game looks epic. I want to contribute to this launch. So it was like watching trailers, I was watching the designers or the game producers like talk and like go through the whole process of it, and just getting snippets here and there of like each of the models, like as much of the angles that I could. Um, just going off of like my own build process is um, getting all like the concepts and stuff and images or material that you need. If you can get like a physical product, like a toy or whatever, of what you're going off of, try getting it. If it's too expensive, don't. Like I would have totally bought the D.Va Overwatch Blizzard figure, but that costs like $500. It's like no,
Yeah, yeah, no,
better spend that on Lego.
yeah. You could get like a bunch of
um,
different Lego sets as opposed to
right?
the one model.
Yeah. So yeah, getting all that material beforehand, and then dedicating yourself to like just going back and forth and like sometimes you'll have a model like my Horizon Zero Dawn Watcher where you have a piece that you dedicate like this piece looks exactly like that on that model or build or whatever, and then like that would determine the scale of your model. So then what I do is like just get all of that pre-build stuff together, um make a game plan, just draw out the model that you want. Sometimes it's not even that, like sometimes you just want to build out of your head, so you just sketch up a quick little design of like, okay, this is what I want to go for.
Hmm.
um your parts, finding those pieces where you're like, I want to use this. I also have a small collection of that, of like pieces where I want to use in a model. So finding those pieces where you're like, this could work, this could also work, like, and also what colors you want to use. Just getting all that pre building phase going of like buckets here and there of like, okay, this is the material, this is the parts, this is the end product that I want to go for. um that's definitely where I start off with my models, and where I say like, if you want to start off, like that's definitely something you should go towards, is like have an idea or have your material for the idea you're going for, and then just go from there and just try to build as closely as possible as you can.
All right, that's pretty solid advice. Now I'm gonna
That was a
start
long
building.
one,
No,
but
no, it's good. It's good to have
yeah, no,
thorough advice.
I'm so it's like I don't have it on the ready, but it's basically the same lingo I give to everyone who comes to me with that kind of stuff of like, how do I get like inspired? How do I start? Like, can you give me some tips and tricks? And like, yeah, that's basically
Hmm.
just go for it.
All right, excellent. Okay, in that case, the next Okay, this is a question I don't comprehend too well, but Cubic asks, could you give a personal retrospective on your MOCing trial? Also, do you plan to do more contests in the future?
Yeah. So the Majin or the Majin trials, it was a Gundam inspired contest that I held. Um, there were only 3 entrants to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a very small contest because I'm not like widely popular and we'll have like 200 people enter. So it was just a small little contest that I held. Um, I mean, I was hoping there'd be like at least 50 people to enter, and then I would dedicate myself to like getting prizes and stuff to them. But then I like during the time when it ended and like transition between there into life and stuff, like things were just not going well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get the prize packs out, so I just was like, this was just like a fun exhibition kind of contest thing that we held. Like there was no winners, there was no losers. But the entries to that contest were actually really cool. Uh, if I mean, not that it really matters having a large following. I like staying close to my community as possible,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna keep getting larger and larger. I think just the other day I hit 600 on Instagram, so that's cool.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
well, I'm like, yay, and that's kind of it. Like it's not like it's not something that affects me personally. Like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
dying to hit 1,000.
Yeah.
It's just I enjoy that there's a group of people out there who enjoy what I do. Um, point I'll probably do another contest. That one was more just Gundam just to see what was going on because like for some reason during that time period like everyone was building Gundams. And I was like, okay, fine, let's just do a Gundam contest. But if I do a next one, it'll probably be a Zoid because Zoids are the best. But yeah, it's I not really what's the word? No, I don't know what the word is. Um,
Come on, man.
I'm not super popular to like try holding contests. But I mean, as I get going, like, and as the community grows and as I get better, I might try to like collect a few things and actually have like a prize thing going and actually have like a really huge contest and maybe like promote it here and there and try getting like a larger community to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, small little contest and maybe I'll hold another one.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. That would be fun to see. Okay. In that case, we have a slew of questions from Brother W. Who asks a few things. First of all, opinion on The Last Jedi?
Um, here goes another surprise. I'm actually not a Star Wars fan.
No, that's fine. That's okay.
Oh.
That's
No, it's a huge surprise to most people because I built a failed ship timber build, but I built a giant TIE fighter that was construction scale to a TIE fighter pilot. So
wow.
everybody was like, Daniel's the giant Star Wars fanatic. He built a huge TIE fighter. He's super into Star Wars. And it's like, no, I'm not. I just like the TIE fighter. I built it for fun.
Yeah. Okay. No,
Like
that's
a
fine.
Y wing, like a UCS scaled Y wing.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
and it's like, yeah, I just like how it looks. I just wanted to build it. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. So I have not seen the movie, so I do not currently have an opinion.
That's actually perfectly okay, but that that bears. It requires I ask another question. What have you built that you are a fan of?
I mean, I'm a fan of most things, like the category of concepts where like the spaceships are just really cool.
Mhm.
Um, maybe I'll search on characters and maybe build a character from Star Wars. Um, but most of the things, like I'm just a huge fan of concepts and designs. Um, definitely a big fan of Overwatch, even though I don't play. Huge fan of Pokemon. There's an epic, huge collab going on with that. We're gonna try building all 800 plus. Um,
Oh no.
It's
Oh gosh, it just that's gonna what? This is why
gonna
you
take
just.
forever.
I'm telling you, man. I'm waiting. I'm holding out hope. There's gonna be a Digimon collab, but I'm as time goes
I've been
on.
told. I've been told by Mike Neves, also known as Retinance on Flickr,
Mhm.
Epic, my idol. I've been told by him that I need to build a Digimon like to mix in between my Pokemon builds and see if
Yes.
people realize that it's there or not.
Yes. Oh
like
please! I've got recommendations at the wazoo. You got to go for one that's like kind of cutesy, so it blends in. So
yeah,
even though I
or
would
just like epic enough to look like a Pokemon. I think it's called Greymon. So it's like a
yes,
T-Rex, I think.
yes, Greymon. Oh, that would be awesome. See, I would recommend Kabuterimon because that's always my favorite. But
Hmm.
Kabuterimon, all he looks too awesome. He doesn't. He's very like edgy and
Yeah.
sharp looking. So he doesn't really fit the Pokemon aesthetic as well. Pokemon is a lot more. It's a lot almost rounder and softer looking. Not as a
Yeah.
diss. It doesn't have the same sharpness, I suppose. Like
An
the angles.
angst.
The angst.
Angst. Yeah. No, I definitely will probably see if there's a group out there who would like to dedicate some time to doing a Digimon collab. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. I need more people to involve themselves in it.
Yeah, no, same with the Pokemon collab. We have a couple epic like model builders and stuff who are super cool. We also have a handful of Lego set designers who are in it. But yeah, like it's gonna take years to complete.
Mm-hmm.
But then like once the a first gen or once a generation is done, we're gonna take them all to a convention and just have them on display, and it'll take up like 4 tables. Um, but that's the plan. At
Gosh.
least have an online database of all Pokemon in Lego form.
Mm-hmm. Goodness, good freaking luck. That is gonna be intense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question from Brother W is: have you ever eaten a mangosteen?
I have not. I really want to.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
If you can find one and it
Uh,
isn't rotten,
Not try the outer shell either.
don't. Don't do it. Gosh, don't do
Video,
it.
I will not do that.
Oh, thank goodness.
Maybe I'll give it a quick lick, you know.
um, next, pineapple on pizza. Yay, nay.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes, we're
I
in good
actually
company.
enjoy pineapple on pizza.
Heck yeah. Now you're talking. It's some good stuff. All right. And then his last question is: how was your day?
My day's been pretty good. I've been slowly moving around my Lego studio room, whatever this is called, because I just finished my September build, so I'm trying to like get back in the mojo of working on other stuff and also like sorting out pieces that need to be sorted for the next builds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been pretty good. Been pretty productive.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good, good. Okay. In that case, the next question is from the Dark Master, who asks, what is your opinion on the Skull villains?
Um, let's see. I loved Skull Basher,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because he had purple. Like
Fair.
the Earth bad guy. I kind of have a thing for just the Earth tribe in Bionicle, like all the Earth Toa and the Earth villains. Like they're all just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was Nuparu's fault. My first set, that it's his fault that I fell in love with
Mm-hmm.
the Earth tribe. If the Iron tribe had become a thing, I probably would have loved them too. Skull Basher is the first set I picked up, and then I think it was Skull Grinder. That set with like versus Mask Maker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be Skull
He
Grinder.
was pretty cool. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Um, Theo, the Scorpion one,
Yeah.
he was all right. Um, when I buy sets, they're literally just parts packs.
Ah, no, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
That's I mean, I get
some
that.
like way back when I used to build the sets like just to see how they did some things, um, or to see where stickers went.
Hmm.
Uh, but otherwise, like they just go into a bin to be sorted later on.
Yeah, no.
um, but the Skull Warriors were definitely cool, a cool wave. They were definitely a bit skinny on the parts side. Um, couple cool pieces like the masks, and also like the actual like bone pieces. Um, the trans parts. Yeah, so they were definitely interesting, but Skull Basher is definitely my top pick, and then Skull Grinder.
Okay. All right, no, that's fair. All right, cool. All right, next question is from 823 Studios, who asks, I think I've asked this before and I'll ask it again. What do you think of the Honda robot? I have no familiarity for this.
Honda robot. Well, just because it's a robot, I think it's cool.
I can
But
get
I
behind that.
don't know if I know what this is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Pretty
Okay.
sure it's this white humanoid
All I know
little
is that
backpack
Honda's a
guy.
car.
Yeah, there's like it looks. I just looked it up. There's like a spaceman looking robot.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Um,
okay. No, 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 no. The Honda robot. No, I think maybe
it's
could that
something else.
maybe it's. Oh my gosh, let me check. It might be the Lego set. I need to double check. No, no, stop it. Gosh. Um, yeah.
The Lego set,
Is it the
the
Honda
Lego set
AC?
version of it.
No, no, no. Here, it's. I'll post it. Is it the Honda Asimo? Is that what you're talking about? This is what I think he might be talking about. This is
Mm.
a set called the Honda Asimo, and it's a robot.
It's super cool. I believe there's like one piece in there that's white that's like not available in any other sets.
Oh no, it's one of those.
What piece? But
Ugh.
yeah, it's one of those. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it's neat. Okay, let me see. Let me
This
just.
this is one of the things that like in like so my building system is like I'm more of like a organic
Mm-hmm.
um but there are people out there who build like strictly a full technic like build, and that's something I want to dabble in because I
Mm-hmm.
want to see how I would like how would I greeble with all these tiny technic pieces to then build like an epic build.
Yeah.
Definitely tip my hat to those kind of builders who are able to do that kind of stuff because like it's just I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to give it a try at some point.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't even know where to start. But okay. We are going to do three more questions, and then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Let me see here. So, Iwanek asks if you could bring back a discontinued Lego color, like when teal returned,
Ooh,
which one would it
yes.
be?
Mm, I want to say, mm, let's see. I don't have like a specific one, but one that I would like to see come back. I have two. Sand red and also the I don't know what the specific purple color of it is. But the Victorian, very bright purple.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, the one on Onapu. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we have this like dark purple in the CCBS, but we don't have like the very nice bright purplish color. I would like to see more of that.
Okay. I keep forgetting
Then
that's a
like
color.
yeah. Probably like any of these other like metallic colors too. There's some really nice metallic like Technic sets from way back when,
Hmm.
mostly in Star Wars.
Yeah.
which are like super expensive now. So it's like, ooh.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Now I know what
But
you're talking
those
about.
there's definitely like some off-brand kind of colors that I would like to see. Um,
Hmm.
just going off of that question, colors that I would like to see used more would have to be just regular lavender because when I was building my Berserk Fury model, there were no lavender cheese wedges, and I was complaining about it for like 5 months. It still has yet to show up. So,
Dang. Oh boy.
so the color I would like to see used more, but brought back would definitely have to be sand red, purple.
Cool. All right. I wish I could contribute to this. I have no colors specifically. Well, okay. We need more mata green pieces.
Yeah.
We need more specifically construction mata green pieces, and not this goofy little Green Lantern green that we see on Liwa Master. I'm talking good old classic Liwa Mata green. Gosh dang it.
Yep. Issue when I was building the Tatarak because
Oh
there was
yeah.
like nothing available. So it was like, yeah, strictly G1 build.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. So frustrating. Okay. Next question is going to be again from 823 Studios, who asks, what is your opinion of custom molded Lego parts? Examples are Brick Arms weapons and Brickmania muzzle brakes for tanks and artillery.
I don't have too much experience with those. But I do have a little experience. I am pretty close with Citizen Brick, which is the custom printing company out here in Chicago. And they do their own custom molding.
Mm-hmm.
Use official Lego pieces, melt them down, and then use that to cast their molds with. I've played around with a couple of their pieces, and they're pretty cool. Um, really build in military, so I wouldn't specifically know.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally don't have to it. I have my fair share of bootleg Lego,
Mm-hmm.
unofficial Lego pieces. I have a small collection of like cool minifigures, and they all have their own like custom guns and stuff. And it's like, you guys are just gonna stand there and look cool, and I'm not gonna really use these.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I don't have any like to it. Um, but then also you have people like who use resin to make casts of Lego molds.
Yeah.
And that I'm totally behind that. That's like I'm probably his number one buyer.
Yeah, like soccer ball. Yeah. Oh
Modal
gosh.
just paints on them, so
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah. No, I get you.
no, I don't have any objection to any of those like bootleg Lego compatible parts. I have my fair share.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. In that case, the last question is from Notorious Ven, who asks, when you build, would you say you
You get to
spend
this one.
would you say you spend more time on getting the right aesthetics or working on a solid frame and aesthetics come later, or rather, which comes first for you, the build or the looks?
So this can go both ways. Depending on the kind of model you're going for. Um, so I will talk about the Ven model. Here's the big spoiler. So from Marvel Comics, there was, I believe, the Devil Dinosaur is his name. He's a big red T-Rex. In an Old Man Logan comic, he becomes inhabited, covered by the Venom symbiote. So he becomes Venom Rex.
Oh
That
my
will be
gosh.
appearing next year at Brick Fair. It's
Oh
gonna be
my
my big
goodness.
table centerpiece. So for that one, it's gonna be both the look as well as the frame for it. Because the I like to challenge myself with my models. So sometimes it's big. You need to plan ahead for how heavy the model's going to be, how big it's going to be, um, and like points of where you're going to need. So for the Berserk Fury, that one, it's not officially built together yet. It has already for the tail, because the tail is really, it's the length of my forearm
Oh
and
my
very
gosh.
heavy, and it needs to hang all the way out from the body, so that needs a stand, and then the body itself has its own single stand. The legs are sturdy enough, but they cannot support the entire weight of the dinosaur itself. But then it has a backpack that goes on it, and that's literally going to need a third stand to be able to support all the weight that the backpack's going to put on it.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my models, they like, well, I'll go from an inner frame working out. So like the September build I made, that was mostly a Technic frame, to see that it'll hold up, be able to withstand like me wiggling it around, the swoosh factor.
Mm-hmm.
um and then it was then tackling the fleshing out the outside appearance of it, like making it pieces to make it look like a bionicle ship. So for the Venom T-Rex, it's going to be, the complicating part is I'm going to make it stand on one leg. So it's going to be suspended in action.
Oh my
So I need to be able to
gosh.
support all of the weight of the T-Rex on the one leg into the base. So it's going to be two leg, main structure support. And then from the leg into the rest of the body, it needs to then also be strong enough to not to wobble too much or fall over. Another thing I've been tackling, a larger scale model builder, and also Mike Neves suggested this as well, because he also struck this as he was building. You either go for functionality or posability statue builds. There's a couple builders out there, like Patrick Biggs has a couple statue builds, where like you have, like, there's joints in there, but it's really just not going to do anything. It's just there just for posing, um, like a joint or a connection strong enough to stay there. Um, Things, it's like thinking about, do you want this to be posable? Are you going to pose this around? Or are you like, is it just going to be a table centerpiece? Like, it doesn't need to be able to do anything. It just needs to sit there and look pretty and win awards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's another thing that you need to think about going into, like, depending on scale, of course, but thinking about how your model's gonna be able to support itself, um, and also how you're gonna, if needed, a base to be able to support it. So like, I'm gonna spoil it too much. I have another Zoid build coming up that's gonna be another four-legged build. So the legs need to be strong enough to be able to stand it up properly. But I'm still going to give it a stand because it's going to be very massive and top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That one will probably need just one stand because the four legs themselves will be sturdy enough to be able to hold up the model like nicely. But there will be too much weight in the center of the model, so it would need a stand there.
Goodness.
Um, about how sometimes you have to take away from appearance, vice posability sometimes too. Um, the end goal you're reaching for, and then planning out properly and how to make sure that your model doesn't just like fall over. So I think I saw earlier in the question someone asked how D.Va, if D.Va's mech was posable. So D.Va's mech is posable, like the joints move.
Mm-hmm.
But it is attached to the base with a stand. So the joints are posable. It can move around and stuff. I want to just sit there and look pretty. So the joints are there. It can do stuff, but I don't intend for it to be able to do anything. It just needs to be able to stand there and look good. Um, I have a bunch of examples where it's like either you go for functionality, posability, or you're just going for a statue build.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that
Perfect.
helps.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Although I do have to ask, did you just wake up one morning and think, what is the most difficult thing I can try to build for Brick Fair Virginia next year? That's just something
Um,
it's gonna be so difficult.
Probably. I mean, that's like every morning.
Oh, okay.
No. To challenge myself. I enjoy a good challenge like the Berserk Fury. That was a challenge in itself. Um Friend, we're both Zoid fans, and there are tiny Japanese model kits that you put together, and it's like the size maybe a Bionicle. Like that's how big it is. It's so tiny. Um Never seen anyone build this in Lego before.
Mm-hmm.
He went, is that a challenge? Are you challenging me?
Are you challenging me?
Challenging me? um and this was a day before a 2-day weekend show. So that night I went on Bricklink, the lavender color, went through all of the parts, and the next morning I was like, watch me. So then it took off here and there, but it was probably like 2 months of just nonstop. I bought the model, and then the me challenging myself. I kept almost all of the functions that the toy model can do into the full size Lego model. So all of the little functions that it has and gimmicks, the larger model is able to do.
Wow.
And it was very very, but I really enjoy the challenge. Someone's like, I've never seen this done, or even sometimes I'll challenge myself. So like with the Watcher, I was like, I want to bring this Watcher to life. I want it to have internals that move and give it some life to this model because it's so cool to be as a presenting like standalone. And what can I do to make it even more impressive? So
Mm-hmm.
then like working the turning wheel in the eye to change the color, or the tail wags back and forth, like those are parts that I was like figured out beforehand, all the mechanics, internal, then structure, and then outside aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a natural thing for me. Whenever I see a really cool concept, it's like, ooh, screenshot. I'm gonna save that for later. And when I get to it, it's like, okay, how can I make this as challenging as possible?
Oh gosh. Well, I can say wholeheartedly that you meet these challenges head on, and the results are always a treat to the eyes. Cause gosh, freaking dang it, you have made some
Yeah.
incredible things.
Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want, but that's why you just learn from it and improve for the next time.
Yeah, no, then that's fair enough. Okay, well, in that case, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up. Daniel, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me here today.
Thank you.
And I will ask you the final question that I ask everyone. Where is
Okay.
it that you would like people to follow you at on social media?
Well, they can follow me if they want. Um, but I am on Flickr and Instagram. I believe both of them are DanielBrickSon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is it. I'm not really out there.
Okay.
I like to keep everything nice and nice and tidy. Nice quick checks.
Okay. All right,
I
no,
do have
that's fair.
yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, cool.
And
That
then maybe you'll
works.
see me at a convention every now and then.
Yeah, no, I hope to see you again next year at Brickford, Virginia, and to see
I know,
the
for sure.
immaculate mock you are bringing.
Sure. There's actually yeah, no, I'll definitely be there for sure next year. There's a small Bionicle group that has plans to.
So I believe you cut out there. Plans to what now?
We're gonna bring a lot more Bionicles next year,
Oh, fantastic. Oh gosh, I'm excited.
just in builds, but also in people. We're gonna try bringing as much epic Bionicle builders, as much of them as we can out to next year. So there'll be a lot of really good quality mocks.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. That's outstanding. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Okay, well, in that case, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Again, Daniel, thanks so much for being here today. All right, and thank all of you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, be it the recorded version or the live one. It does not matter. I appreciate it regardless. Feel free to leave any comments pertaining to your thoughts in the comments section below. That'll do it. Thank you all so very much for listening, everyone. This has been yet another episode of the Eljay Johnsen Show. This show airs every single weekend, every Saturday, now Sunday, at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, unless specified otherwise, over on Twitter at the Eljay Johnsen, where you can find updates and guest announcements every single Tuesday. And if you have any questions of the week, make sure you send them into my email, eljayjohnsen@gmail.com. Remember, that's JOHNSEN. All right, that does it. Once again, thank you all so very much for watching, and hopefully you have a great day.